There is a children's health defense TV station. Now, for those of you who don't know, Children's Health Defense is the anti-vax organization founded by our current HHS secretary, Robert Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy. And they have a fucking television station that, I mean, this feels like the NRA TV, but for now. MMR gave my son autism. Like this kind of stuff. There's no there's a lot of like non-doctors. There's a lot of like health specialists, right?
Right.
And so one of the interviews that they just did, and I verified this, was with the couple in West Texas whose child died because of the measles and because they were not vaccinated. Now, I talked about this like a week ago. There was I think The Atlantic did an interview with this same guy, but now Children's Health Defense is doing it because they do believe RFK Jr. Now, they are Mennonites, and it's just kind of a sight to behold. I don't know what your relationship to Mennonites in over there is, but you gotta watch this.
Like, wir sind doctors with the home channel.
She says they would still say, don't do the shots.
Okay, so she's straight up speaking in German, right?
Like, wir sind doctors with the home channel.
She says they would still say, don't do the shots. There's doctors that can help with measles. They're not as bad as they're making it out to be.
Okay. We need to remember that these people were sent home with cough medicine when they brought their child to a hospital, in part because Texas and their hospital system is awful, like especially in rural areas like West Texas. It's the state with the highest number of uninsured people in the country. And they were sent home with cough medicine as their daughter's lungs were like filling with unable to breathe, filling with mucus. It's this massive respiratory infection is what measles does, in addition to the rash, which means it's gotten into your bloodstream and all this. So she says there are good doctors who can take care of your child.
And also the measles are good for the body, for the people.
It's good for the body. It's good for the people. I don't.
It's sad. It is sad. It is pretty sad.
This is so sad, but I will do a little bit of a German accent.
I'd love to go to the house music. We like the house music also. That's you dance. You dance the disease away.
That's what we believe. You just wear a little mesh shirt and we dance it. And with our asymmetrical haircut, and just make sure that the vibe is good and the DJ's pumping.
Because the measles are getting the what is it?
What?
Como se dice cucumber?
Entzündung. Infection.
For infection.
Yeah, they get an infection out, and
do you mind this immune system?
Yes,
yeah.
They're trying to say that the measles actually helps build the immune system in the long run if they get the measles now.
Nej, kvinnan är inte så lik kriv in the long run.
In the long run, they kriegen nicht so leicht, they kriegen nicht so leicht kriv.
Yeah, they kriegen nicht so leicht kriv.
Okay, so in the long run, he says they wouldn't get cancer as easily, and it fights off a lot of stuff, the immunity that they get from the
That's amazing. The immunity that you get from getting the measles. Look, what's great about his deceased daughter is that she won't get cancer.
Technically, they got a point. You can't. Just this logic. I feel bad making fun. Maybe, I don't know. We probably have some agreement with some of the RFK type people where they're like, I'm really skeptical about taking
harmful dyes, harmful artificial dyes,
seeds.
Artificial. What's in the seed oil?
What's in that? Nobody wants you to know about it. The seed oils. A lot of this stuff is unhealthy, and these big companies controlling it's whatever, but it's what is people like RFK really going to do about any of this stuff? Like nothing. And then you're kind of like, you end up in this zone like this where just everybody's skeptical of everything, you know?
Yeah.
It's a bad place to be, you know?
I mean, also, like, you know, we make fun of the Mennonites because they're weird, and they're, you know, they're like in like northern Bolivia, and they're like a big like a corn-fed ass, an overall wearing, red face motherfucker in the middle of like all these like indigenous, you know, communities, and you're like, okay, like so Mennonites are weird, but I kind of feel like we're going toward the sort of Mennonitization of the country, right? Like you abolish anything centralized, you abolish, you know, you promote religious schools, you promote religious
Right.
education. I mean, obviously, schools education. You promote sort of like all kinds of religious fanaticism or fanaticism generally, and definitely decentralized. And I feel like you kind of get a bunch of like uninformed, poorly cared for little religious, like the amount of people on a ranch being held against their will, we're gonna like that's gonna like pop off in 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, yep.
I mean, it's good you're getting out of Texas, because I feel like Texas is gonna be like, you know, target number one for that. But like,
I'm looking around. I'm trying to figure out which cult I'm going to join. You know, it's too many. It's a paradox of choice situation.
Well, I think the only way we get, first of all, I think the only way for people who are making less than $300,000 a year to get any kind of tax break is to incorporate as a cult.
Ooh.
And or start a religion. We always like joke about it, but I do think we should be starting religions.
I got to get on this. Yeah.
But we have to make it, to me, it's got to be Jesus adjacent, because you're not going to get anywhere if you're not Jesus adjacent.
He's got too much clout, too much pull. He's just.
I mean, funnily enough, Islam is Jesus adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
Judaism, very Jesus adjacent. They're all Jesus adjacent.
Right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I say, just throw them in there. You'll get you know. And I got to get clicks and views, so I got to put his name in there, you know, for clout reasons. So I think you're right. When we start this cult, it's got to have a Jesus element to it. But we'll put our own twist on it, though.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be it'll be a 3 instead of E's. And it'll definitely be like $J3 or J3 US. U.S.
That's cool. That's very cool. That's very hip, you know, J3. The J3, rise up, you know, like we'll do a whole thing.
It'll just be G-sus. I don't know. Sorry. Oh boy. G-SUS. It'll be fine. You know, we're gonna be fine. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do